Performing what the Bible calls wonders and signs was another way in which Jesus enacted his mother's song. Everywhere Jesus goes, the world is rearranged. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the poor are freed from debt. Now, forgiveness of debts is listed last because it is by far the hardest thing to do, harder even than raising the dead to life. Jesus left people dazzled, amazed, and grateful. That was the ordinary people. He left the powerful people angry and upset because every time he performed a wonder, they lost a little bit of their clout. The wonders of this new era, when public life is organized around neighborliness, may scandalize and upset us. We may yearn for it, but we fear it deeply. The feeding of the multitudes recorded in Mark's gospel is an example of the new world coming into being through the liturgy of abundance. When the disciples, charged with feeding the hungry crowd, found a child with 5 loaves and 2 fish, Jesus took, blessed, and broke and gave the bread. He demonstrated that the world is filled with abundance and with generosity. If bread is broken and shared, then there is bread enough for all. Jesus is engaged in the subversive reordering of public reality. 5,000 are fed and 12 baskets of food are left over. Jesus transforms the economy by blessing it and breaking it beyond self-interest. Our life together here at Fountain Street Church is not just about spiritual matters. It is about the transformation of the world, the bringing of a new economy of abundance to the world. The disciples often don't get what Jesus is about because they keep trying to fit him into old patterns. And to do so is to make him innocuous, irrelevant, and boring. But Paul gets it. In 2 Corinthians, Paul directs a stewardship campaign for the early church, and he presents Jesus as the new economist. Though Jesus was rich, Paul says, yet for your sakes he became poor, that by his poverty you might become rich. We say it takes money to make money. Paul says it takes poverty to produce abundance. Our abundance and the poverty of others need to be brought into a new balance. Paul ends his stewardship letter by quoting Exodus 16. And the one who had much did not have too much, and the one who had little did not have too little. The citation is from the story of the manna that transformed the wilderness into abundance. It is, of course, easier to talk about these things than to live them. Many people, both inside and outside of the church, haven't a clue that Jesus is talking about the economy. We must begin to teach this now, no matter how economically compromised we may be feeling. Our world absolutely requires this news. It has nothing to do with being Republican or Democrat, liberal or conservative, socialist or capitalist. It is much more elemental. The creation is infused with the Creator's generosity. And we can find practices, procedures, and institutions that allow that generosity to work. A traditional Passover song, Dayenu, has been sung for centuries. It begins, how much favor has the omnipresent one bestowed upon us? The lyrics tell the Passover story. If he had brought us out from Egypt and had not carried out judgments against them, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. If he had carried out judgments against them and not against their idols, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. If he had destroyed their idols and not smitten their firstborn, say it with me, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. If he had smitten their firstborn and had not given us their wealth, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. If he had given us their wealth and had not split the sea for us, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. If he had split the sea for us and had not taken us through it on dry land, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. And the song goes on for several more verses. It would have been enough, but the Creator never gives us simply enough. We are called to live in the spirit of Dayenu, to live a theology of abundance. Do we emulate our Creator's spirit of generosity? Do we live as if we trusted in the Creator's abundance? What if one of the links between the generosity of creation and our neighbors is us, this community, this church? Will we embrace our neighbors? We meet along the pathway. Will we embrace them in love? Will we be caught putting grain in our neighbor's granary? When we do, where we do, becomes a holy place. Let us make this church, this beloved community, a holy place through our generosity. Amen. We close with hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life. This is indeed a day which the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice in it, and let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, feel, hear, and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. And let us be especially grateful for the ties of love which bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all our days. Go in peace.